इस खादिम को प्रोफेसर इरफान शुक्र कहते हैं. I am Professor of Medical Education and I am going to talk about problem-based learning. But before that, ये बताइए कि मैं आप में से किसी को जानता हूँ?
सर डेफिनेटली सर.
मैं किसी को अगर जानता हूँ जरा ऊंची आवाज में बात करें मुझे.
सर डेफिनेटली सर, डेफिनेटली सर.
Good. So before I start the proceedings, मेरे भाई अल्लाह को याद कर लें and then we started. आऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. कल रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी वयस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतन मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली वजअल ली वज़ीरन मिन अहली. This is Musa who is praying to the Lord. O my Rabb, open for me my chest, grant me self-confidence, contentment and boldness, so that I don't feel straitened and I can talk to you people, and ease my task for me. That is obviously my task is to PBL, to teach you PBL or to learn from you PBL, and loose the knot of defect from my tongue, that is remove the incorrectness from my speech, so that my communication is so good that they understand my speech, so you can understand me. An appointment for me, a helper from my family. And indeed, Allah is grateful. He has already appointed a helper for me. And that is your coordinator, Dr. Sabah. So let's start now. I need 4 volunteers. I need 4 volunteers for the initial segment, which I'm going to do. So anyone who volunteers?
Okay, so Dr. Zarar Akbar.
Let me write down the name. Dr. Zarar.
Dr. Shiba.
Ma'am Shiba.
Dr. Shiba Ishtiaq.
Dr. Shiba, and the third?
Dr. Muhammad Usman.
Dr. Usman. And the fourth one?
Hafiz Bilal. Dr. Hafiz Bilal.
डॉक्टर हाफिज बिलाल. तो डॉक्टर हाफिज साहब, मैं आपको बिलाल के नाम से पुकारूं या हाफिज के नाम से?
सर बिलाल के नाम से. Here I am.
Oh, lovely. माशाल्लाह. Let's start now. So the fun begins.
हम डरा रहे हैं.
Okay, now what I am going to do is I'm going to bring this thing over here. Or I'm going to take it on that side. Okay, I take you to this side. That's much better. I want any one of you, rather, let me tell you who should read. Dr. Zarar Dara, ये पढ़िएगा, if you can read it. जो आपको नजर आ रहा है. आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही. Dr. Zarar, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Okay, sir. Sir, can you hear me now, sir?
Yes, शुरू से पढ़िए.
Sir, a teacher walks in an SGT room to take a PBL session. She is confused about how she will conduct the session since she has not been trained in this instructional methodology. Last night, Googling on the process of PBL session, she found out that it is an innovative student-centered strategy that encourages learning through inquiry and exploration. She discovers there is a trigger in PBL and assigned roles of the students. Students identify gaps in their knowledge, conduct research, and apply their learning to understand the problem and solve it. She was fascinated to learn that PBL methodology can teach in the students' generic skills, and the role of a facilitator is unlike that of a traditional teacher.
Okay.
Sir.
Now what I want you to do is just pause for 1 minute and everyone should read this again. अपने अपने दिल में एक दफा पढ़ लें इसको. जी पढ़ लिया आपने?
सर
बाकी ने भी पढ़ लिया? मतलब
sir.
मेरे जो 4 ग्रुप मेंबर्स हैं, हम वी आर ग्रुप, इनफैक्ट मैं और आप 5 का ग्रुप है हमारा।
सर
ठीक होगी बात। ओके। Now what I want you to do is just tell me, identify the words जो कि आप इसमें समझते हैं कि आप इसको मुश्किल हैं, आप समझ नहीं पा रहे। Just identify the words whose meaning you want to know.
SGT, sir.
SG, let me write down.
SGT.
So you want to know about is SGT, okay? Where this is the SGT.
Trigger.
एक मिनट, let me take out my pen with it. Okay, it's not, I write down. SGT. What else?
Trigger.
Trigger. G.
Generic skills.
Generic skills.
Generic skills.
Okay. Generic skills.
PBL methodology.
PBL methodology. Anything else?
सर ये आपके नीचे रिटर्न सही नहीं आ रहा, इसके ऊपर जो आ रही है
ये देखिए।
तो उसके
सर
पीछे
आधी
वाली
स्क्रीन सर जो
पीछे वाली
रीड
है वो
आउट
फिर
किया था वो सर नहीं नजर आ रही सर।
कौन सी?
सर जो ये जो पैराग्राफ पढ़ा था सर वो नहीं
text
नजर आ
की
रहा
screen
था।
पूरी।
अच्छा, I understand. You want to see that paragraph. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
सर gaps in their knowledge।
मैं अब इसको बड़ा कर देता हूँ, फिर आपको समझ में आ जाएगा। देखिए, अब आपको नजर आ रहा है ना?
जी बिल्कुल
आ रहा है। ठीक है, मुझे 1 मिनट दीजिए, मैं स्कोर छोटा कर लूं ताकि आपको कंफ्यूजन कोई ना हो, ताकि दोनों विंडोज आपको नजर आएंगी, कोई मिटेगी नहीं। अब ठीक है। सो व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट वर्ड और नेक्स्ट क्या चीज आप नहीं समझ में आ रही या there's confusion?
Traditional teacher.
Traditional teacher. Where is traditional teacher written, by the way? I want to find out.
लास्ट वर्ड सर, लास्ट वर्ड।
Oh yes, traditional teacher. बाकी लोग जो सुन रहे हैं वो अपनी एक लिस्ट बना सकते हैं। They can also enter in this activity what I'm doing. Since I am also a participant with you, let us say that I am your chair in this group. Don't think me as a teacher now. Think me, we are a group of 5 and I am the chair of this group. Okay.
Assigned roles of students.
Assigned roles of students. Since I am also a student with you now, so what is PBL? I don't know.
Instructional methodology.
Instructional methodology.
Student-centered strategy.
Student-centered center strategy. Okay, let me write the student. ये बहुत ही बड़ा student हो गया मेरी एज का. So this we have picked up. Okay.
Problem-based learning.
Problem-based learning. Where is problem-based learning written? In which line?
Problem-based learning.
Is
Fourth
it
line.
1, 2, 3, 4? Last night, Googling on the process of PBL session. Where is problem-based written?
PBL is problem-based learning.
Okay, so this is what you think. So let me write this also. This is what we think. Okay. Now we have done this. ठीक होगी एक चीज. Let's move further. When you're reading this paragraph, so can you sense a problem in this? Just think over it. What is the problem in this? Can you sense a problem?
Problem is
जो
that she had
basic
no idea
चीजें हैं
about
like SGT and PBL, वो सर properly पूरी लिखी नहीं हुई है सर. Like we can't, although we can make out further, but at the start कि जी जैसे SGT हो गया या फिर PBL हो गया या फिर trigger हो गया सर.
The jargons use हुए हैं काफी.
Okay. What I want you to get out of these jargons वगैरह ये जो हैं, don't see this paragraph as such, but by reading पूरे paragraph को जो आप पढ़ते हैं तो आपके ज़हन में खाका बन रहा है. ये खाका बन रहा है ना आपका. So what problem you are sensing in this?
Sir, the teacher doesn't know how to conduct the PBL.
So the problem, you are sensing a problem that there is a teacher and there is some problem with the teacher. ठीक है? And the problem you have sensed this thing, when you put this problem into words, then the problem is the teacher, क्या आपने the teacher?
Is not trained.
Is not trained in PBL, let us say. Okay. And let us say, if I say, I can write this thing also, mere ख्याल में the teacher does not know how to conduct PBL and is confused. What to do? It's more or less same thing you're talking, I think, isn't it? The teacher is not trained in the PBL, or teacher does not know how to conduct PBL, is confused. It's more or less same thing. This, I believe, you're talking the same thing. ये आवाज आई थी मैम शिवा की, नहीं, हाँ मैम शिवा की आई थी. So ma'am Shiba and Dr. Shiba and Dr. Irfan, if you think I call myself Dr. Irfan first now, so we're talking the same thing. So now after we have identified कि problem क्या है इसमें, and we have sensed the problem, and after sensing the problem, we have put them into words, and when you put them into words, we can choose any of the words. So those of you who think we should keep this one or this one, upper one or lower one, दो समझते हैं कि ऊपर वाला रखें, अपना हाथ खड़ा करें, आप चार में से. So two persons are, so they are saying, so okay, let me take it out then. There's no point in keeping this. So this is the problem. So I'm also writing along with it, whatever you are telling me. So I am one of your members. I am also guiding you and also cajoling you to take part in it. And I'm also writing the things, whatever you are telling. I'm not writing anything from my own. But since I'm participating, so I'm putting in some word on my own also in it. Like I couldn't understand what PBL means. Okay, now we have understood from this scenario, okay, there is a problem, and the problem is the teacher is not trained in the PBL. Now let's do brainstorming and find out the explanation from the phenomena which are observed in the problem scenario. अब फिनोमिना में मैं आपको एग्जांपल दूं, एक फिनोमिना जो हम ऑब्जर्व कर रहे थे वो फिनोमिना ये था कि इज पीबीएल इक्वल टू प्रॉब्लम बेस्ड लर्निंग। जो हमने दो ने बात की, मैंने कहा अच्छा, आपने कहा ये, सो देयरफॉर दिस इज अ फिनोमिना कि is problem based learning is same or not same, whatever it is. So we are doing brainstorming to identify the explanations of these things.
It
Other
looks
phenomena,
same.
it looks same. So therefore we say that it is same. So our conclusion, interim conclusion comes is that PBL is equal to same. ठीक है. And why do you say it is same? We are now discussing brainstorming.
Sir, I didn't understand your question.
It's not a question. हमने कह रहे हैं ना PBL is equal to problem based learning, वो same है. तो ये बताओगे फिर ये same क्यों है? मैं तो ख्याल same नहीं. Remember, I am your member. I am a student, not a teacher with you in this group. Or so I'm talking like a student.
Because the word problem-based learning has already been used many times in my life, and the abbreviation which has already been used for problem-based learning is PBL. That's it.
Problem. Okay, this is problem-based learning. Okay. During this session, for a few minutes, when I'm talking, like you are going to talk, when you're going to address me, you're going to address me Irfan, not sir.
Sir,
तो
I
नहीं
cannot.
भाई,
I'm
अच्छा
extremely
तुम
sorry.
ना
Sir.
करो तो तुम ना करो, तुम्हें को मैं चाय पिला दूंगा मैं. अच्छा ये देखो प्रॉब्लम बेस्ड लर्निंग, तो भाई ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग लर्निंग में क्या फर्क है? प्रॉब्लम ओरिएंटेड लर्निंग में क्या फर्क है? हर दिन तो वो उस्ताद के पास गए थे, वो क्या कह रहा था कि प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग लर्निंग कर लो, प्रॉब्लम बेस्ड कर लो, तो तुम ये कहते हो कि वो एक है. चलो छोड़, इस प्रॉब्लम को देखते हैं कि है या नहीं. कोई और फिनोमेना है इसमें? अच्छा इसको देखते हैं. लेट्स फाइंड द एक्सप्लेनेशन. व्हाट इज ट्रिगर?
Trigger, sir, most probably, sir, trigger, sir, we are so sorry, we can't call you by name, sir. I'm so sorry. Sir, trigger means, sir, like something to somehow instigate students' mind to think.
To instigate something the student mind to think. ठीक है. नहीं तो आप मैं अगर बंदूक लेके आ जाऊं, उसका ट्रिगर दबाऊं तो वो सोचना नहीं शुरू करेगा. वो भी तो ट्रिगर हो सकता है.
सर स्टूडेंट को ये किसी तरह ट्रिगर करना है या उसको स्टिमुलेट करना है कि ही शुड स्टार्ट लर्निंग वेयर ही हैज डेफिसिट्स इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग, सर.
Okay, so that is trigger.
Sir, it can be.
If I may just comment, you see, PBL could also mean project-based learning. There are other meanings for that, so we have to clarify. देखा
भाई, project based learning. तुम कहते हो PBL problem based learning है. Well done. एक कोक आपका हुआ, मेरा दोस्त सही से है. अच्छा जी, चलो फिर ट्रिगर भी देख लेते हैं. ये जेनरिक स्किल का मतलब
activate.
जी,
Trigger means to activate something.
To
it
activate
can be a gunshot trigger, it can be a stress trigger, it can be anything. Something activates is called a trigger.
Activate is called.
It can produce a spark in something.
So therefore trigger is, हमने कहा
Trigger is also to motivate the students.
Trigger is to motivate, to spark.
Trigger is a question.
Spark, question. So we are not sure what actually it means. काफी हमारी explanation. What about generic skills?
Sir, inherent or learned skills for learning at individual level, sir.
Inherent skills, ठीक होगी बात. देखें जी,
Sir, inherent plus learned, sir.
Inherently learned, बिल्कुल ठीक है. ये चाय पी रहा हूँ, ये जेनरिक स्किल है. आपको समझ चाय पी रहा हूँ मैं. Inherent है learned.
No, sir. Sir, this is more of a learned skill, sir.
And what about swallowing?
Sir, वो है sir inherent, sir.
So that's a generic skill.
Sir.
भाई किसी और का कोई ख्याल हो generic skill क्या होता है?
तो जेनेरिक भी इनबिल्ट स्किल्स ही होते हैं जो ऑलरेडी आपके बुद्धि में होती है चीजें.
ठीक है. So we write generic skill is inherent, inbuilt, जो भी लव इस्तेमाल कर लें. Now that we have got the sense of it. And what about traditional teacher? ये क्या होता है? What is traditional teacher? What does he mean by traditional teacher in this world?
तो मेरी अंडरस्टैंडिंग ये ट्रेडिशनल टीचर वही है जो आके लेक्चर दे जाते हैं, प्रेजेंट कर जाते हैं और ही डजंट केयर कि स्टूडेंट्स को ये समझ आया नहीं आया. ऑल ही डज इज जस्ट गिव अवे द लेक्चर एंड
दैट इज अ ट्रेडिशनल टीचर.
जहां तक मेरा ये था.
ठीक. और दूसरों का क्या ख्याल है?
It is probably, sir,
conventional teaching.
Conventional teachers.
Interesting. And what about what is this assigned roles of students?
Assigned role is
teachers are
probably the ones which a teacher tells them what to do, how to do in terms of studying.
In terms of studying, okay.
So it's not just studying; it is just the lifestyle of a student, how he behaves, how his body language, everything is a role of a student as a son also, and as a student also. Just a role as a friend. All are the roles of a student. खाली just पढ़ाई नहीं होती कि पूरी एक उसकी body language, पूरा उसका portfolio होता है, वो उसके roles है. खाली पढ़ाई नहीं होती.
सही. Okay, now we do is one thing more. Is that now we have found out, okay, we have tried to identify the explanations of the phenomena which we observed in this paragraph what has been written. And we have also reached to some interim conclusion, like PBL is same and the trigger is something to motivate, to spark and question, and since terms of education, so it has to do something with education. General skills are ill-built, so obviously it has to do something with teaching and this thing. Can you formulate the learning outcomes now? जो कि इसको देख के बना सकते हैं.
The outcome ये है कि a student will be able to understand and learn the problem more effectively and solve problems at the end of the knowing.
So therefore, this what I want is a specific learning outcomes now, and not general outcomes. Specific learning outcomes. For example,
students' generic skills will be improved, and the teacher will learn how to conduct the session more fruitfully. He will no more be the traditional teacher.
ठीक है. आप ये बताएंगे कि आप लोगों ने ये लर्निंग आउटकम्स पढ़ ली हैं अभी या पढ़ने हैं?
जी सर, अभी पढ़े हैं, अभी पिछली लेक्चर में.
ओके. लेकिन मैं अगर इससे करूं तो फॉर माय स्पेसिफिक लर्निंग आउटकम, या जिसको आप कह सकते हैं इंस्ट्रक्शनल ऑब्जेक्टिव कह लें, या लर्निंग आउटकम व्हिच इज स्पेसिफिक, कुड बी I should be able to define trigger. There is so much confusion. I should be able to, let me say, define small group teaching. Okay. And since it's about problem-based learning, so define small group teaching in PBL. किसको कहेंगे आप small group? Then possibly I want to know is what is the methodology of PBL? ये हम understand नहीं कर रहा वो. I should be able to know the list, the steps, if there are steps of will explain, is better word, explain the methodology. Of PBL. Let me see again. और क्या confusion stage में? Traditional, yes. So difference between, I should be able to list difference between,
differentiate,
shabash, differentiate. Between your traditional and non-traditional teacher. Teaching. What else? What is problem-based learning? ये लिखा है हमने सबसे important जगह. What is problem-based learning?
Understand the problem-based learning.
Understand the problem-based learning. और क्या इसमें चीजें देखते हैं? Student-centered strategy. What is student-centered strategy? What is the meaning of
problem?
Explain the term student-centered strategy. Okay. Now when we have done this thing, ये इसके हो जाएंगे आपके specific learning outcomes या instructional objectives, जो proper नाम अगर आप इस्तेमाल करना चाहें तो. अब अगर मैं आपको ये कहूं, अच्छा भाइयों, मेरा तो आज का काम खत्म हो गया है, मैम सभा ने मुझे कहा था कि इतने 15-20 मिनट देने हैं, अब अगले हफ्ते आपसे मुलाकात होगी तो बाय बाय, गुड बाय, खुद पढ़ लीजिए ये चीजें, तो अगले हफ्ते इसी टाइम में मिलेंगे, तो फिर आप ये डिस्कस करके मुझे, हम डिस्कस कर लेंगे, आप जो पढ़ के हम शेयर कर लेंगे आपस में. And if we do this thing, can you hear me? आपको आवाज आ रही है ना?
जी सर, जी सर,
जी सर.
अगर मैं ये कर लूं, खत्म कर दूं, तो मुझे ये बताइए कि पीबीएल के बारे में आपको हर चीज पता चल जाएगी, नहीं पता चल जाएगी?
नहीं पता चलेगी.
क्यों? You will know definition of PBL. You will know how to conduct the PBL. You will know PBL को constitute किस तरह करते हैं. You will know कि traditional और में इसमें फर्क क्या है. अगर आपको ये चीजें पता हैं, तो पीबीएल के बारे में तो आपको पता चल जाएगा what is problem based learning.
एग्जाम्पल्स के लिहाज से अगर समझे तो फिर ज्यादा याद रहेगा.
ठीक है, तो एग्जाम्पल जब आप एक हफ्ता पढ़ें तो एग्जाम्पल्स के साथ तो पढ़ लीजिएगा. दैट्स अ गुड स्ट्रेटजी कि आप आपस में डिसाइड करते हैं हम कि हम जब ये करेंगे हम एग्जाम्पल्स के साथ पढ़ेंगे और नेक्स्ट टाइम एग्जाम्पल्स भी लेके आएंगे. ओके. why I have done this, why I have done this thing. I have done this thing is you have just experienced problem based learning in a miniature form. If you go through this all process, initially you come and you talk like this and make learning outcomes, and then you take a break, then come back again, then those two sessions combined together is PBL, is the problem-based learning. So you have just experienced that as participating in it. Now what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to give you answers to these questions, क्योंकि आपको एक हफ्ता दिया नहीं मैंने कि आप खुद पढ़ के कर लें. So I'm closing these windows now and I'm going to come on different thing. Okay. So we come now to where is my